Mike Sheridan here. Today's video is a full body workout for anyone with a garage gym or home gym setup. All you need is a barbell, some type of racking system, and 30 minutes. The goal of today's workout is to maximize strength and muscle building while still maintaining efficiency. And there's two primary ways we do that. The first is we select big compound weight training exercises that train the larger muscle groups. And the second thing we do is we superset non-competing exercises. So instead of taking super long rest periods before performing an additional set of the first exercise, you're moving on to another exercise that doesn't compete with the first, and then performing that first exercise again. So what I'll do is flash the workout up on screen, and I recommend taking a screenshot of it so you can reference it later, but also so you can reference it now as I'm speaking so you can see how the workout's structured. As you can see, there's two groups of exercises, A1 and A2 and B1 and B2. And what we've done here is we've paired upper and lower body exercises. So your A1 exercise is a standing barbell shoulder press. So you're going to do one set of that exercise for 8 to 12 reps, and then you're going to rest for 60 seconds, and then you're going to move on to exercise 2, which is a snatch grip Romanian or semi-stiff legged deadlift. You're going to do 8 to 12 reps of that, rest 60 seconds again, and then go back to your A1 exercise. So you're back and forth between your A1 and A2 for 4 sets, and then you move on to your B1 and B2 exercise. So similar structure to keep it simple. We're going with an upper body exercise. In this case, you're going to do as many reps as possible. That's what AMRP means. Then you're going to rest for 60 seconds. Then you're going to move on to your B2 exercise for one set of 6 to 8 reps per leg. Once you're done your B exercises, you're finished your workout, and as you can see, we're 16 sets total, and this workout should not take you longer than 30 minutes. The other thing you'll notice on the workout is your tempo. So I'll get into that a little bit as I show you the exercises, but what I tried to do here was keep it as consistent as possible. As you can see, we have a 3-1-1-0 tempo throughout the entire workout. So basically what that means is 3 seconds on the eccentric portion, which if you think of someone doing a squat lowering the bar for 3 seconds, or somebody doing a bench press lowering the bar to their chest for 3 seconds, the 1 would be a pause at the bottom. The following one is the press up, and then no rest at the top. So like I said, I'll go through those as I show you what the exercises look like. Basically what we're doing with this workout is we're splitting the body into 4 segments. So you have your anterior or the front of your body, upper body portion, you have your posterior or your upper body back portion, then you have your anterior or the front for your lower body, and then your posterior for your lower body as well. So there's our 4 segments. Anyone who's read my 1% Fitness book knows that this is how I like to train the body and how I like to superset an anterior upper with a posterior lower, or a anterior lower with a posterior upper. And generally speaking, I'll normally put that across 2 different training days so that you're training essentially half the body on one day, training the other half, and then taking some rest days in between. But today's workout, what I had in mind was someone who wants to be a little bit more efficient, can maybe only train 2, perhaps 3 days a week. They can go hammer their full body, rest for 2 days, hammer the full body again, and then either call it a week and do some other form of training for a 3rd training session, or potentially push that 3rd workout. I don't recommend performing workouts more than 6 times. So if you're going to do the 2 times a week, I wouldn't go past 3 weeks, and if you're going to try to throw 3 in there, then you're looking at 2.5 weeks of doing this workout. The other thing you can do is do this barbell full body one day, rest 2 days, and then do some other full body workout 2 days later. I do have a kettlebell full body workout, for example, that you could do on that other day just to change it up, then rest 2 days again and perform another full body workout, whether it's my barbell one, a kettlebell one, a body weight one. But enough with all the chit chat, let's get to the workout. The first exercise you're going to be doing is a standing shoulder press with the barbell. So as you can see, the barbell is on my collarbone or on my shoulders. My hands are about shoulder width apart. Generally speaking, on the barbell, I like to use the lines that they have on there. You can either go standard 14-inch grip with your thumb right around where that line is, or sometimes if it's more comfortable for you, you can do a thumb's width away from that line. The other thing you'll notice here is that my stance is staggered, so I have one foot back and I'm kind of on my toe, and then that front leg is a little bit bent. With the staggered stance, you're going to do half your reps with 1 foot forward, and then halfway through, as you can see, I'm switching what my front foot is there. And the reason that the stance is staggered is we don't want to put too much pressure on our lower back. As you're doing this exercise, other than making sure you lock out and almost press the weight back up over your head, depends on your range of motion with your shoulders, but you're sort of pressing up and back. You want to try not to overarch. The leg is sort of there to protect that from happening, but just be conscious of your core. You're not arching, you're not rounding, you're in between. Once you've done one set of those for 12 reps or whatever you decide for your reps, you're going to rest 1 minute and get set up for your next one. So because this is a deadlift exercise, what you can do is just take the weight off your shoulders on your last rep, put it down at the rack, rest for 1 minute, grab a squirt of water, whatever, come back, and now you're doing your semi-stiff leg or Romanian deadlift. Basically with the Romanian deadlift, what we're doing here is the hip hinge. So we're not really bending the knees. The bar is almost traveling straight down, and like I said, your shoulders are pinned back. You're arching your back slightly here, but the real goal here is, while keeping the shoulders pinned, you're trying to drive your butt backwards. At the bottom of this exercise, and as you descend, you should be feeling it in your hamstrings. If you're not feeling it in your hamstrings, you might want to check on your posture or your stance because something's off. You could be not pushing your butt backwards, or you could be bending your knees too much. You should really feel pulling your hamstrings, almost a sensation like you're rolling onto your heels. And we're keeping the 3-1-1-0 here, mainly for convenience, but also so you can really feel that hamstring stretch in the bottom and make sure your posture's on point before you drive the hips through and bring the bar to the top. One last thing that I want to mention with the deadlift that I sort of didn't really explain was the snatch grip. So generally on a barbell, there's a ring right here, as opposed to the knurled ring on the inside. Ideally, you want to try to get your middle finger or ring finger there. Obviously, it depends on your arm length and all that. So if your arm's a little bit shorter, I'd maybe go pinky on that ring. And then if you're a long armer like myself, then maybe go with the index. Kind of a comfort thing there, but you want to be wide here. So as wide as possible while still being able to bring those shoulders back and get into a nice postural situation. Once you're done your A1, A2 combination for 4 rounds, you're going to move on to your B1, B2. The first B exercise is the seated chin, or the kneeling chin up. I'm going to give you a couple options here because I know there's varying levels of performance likely watching this clip. The first one I'm going to show you is the most difficult, which would be ideally what I'm going for here with this workout. But if you can't perform these, I completely understand. The seated with the legs out straight. What you'll find here is probably the straightening and holding the legs at 90 is the more difficult part of this exercise. So if you find that's the part failing and you can do more chin-ups, I definitely recommend trying one of the easier options. But as you can see here, I've raised the bar in the rack to a height that would basically be my arms fully extended, but I'm still able to sit on the floor. And then what I do there is pull myself up explosively to get my chin over the bar while maintaining my legs parallel with the floor, locked out nice and straight. Then I'm going to lower for 3 seconds and actually stop and pause at the bottom, sitting on the floor, and then go up for my next rep. So it's 3 seconds down, you actually stop, there's no tension at the bottom, and then you explode up again, no pause at the top, lower yourself for 3. Like I said at the start, it's as many reps as possible, but I think ideally here you want to be trying to get 6 to 8 reps. If you can't get 6 to 8, then just go to one of the easier options here. The next most difficult would be same situation, sitting on your butt, but now your knees are in. So you're just trying to hold your knees in at your chest or at 90 degrees or above as you go up, and then lower yourself, exact same tempo, exact same form. Once you're seated on the floor, you pause and then bring yourself up again. What you could do here is six reps. Let's say you get four on the straight leg, and then your legs start running out of gas, then you can move on to the bent knee option. You can sort of combine the two to progress. The next one that would be easier than that would be raising the bar a little bit more and going from your knees. So this sort of takes the core out of the exercise and focuses on it mainly being a pulling exercise, which I think a lot of people may prefer, especially after the core is a little bit fatigued from the first set exercise, the standing overhead press and the deadlift. So on this scenario, your knees are on the floor and your arms are fully extended, so you'll likely really have to raise that bar up almost to the top. So if you have a rack that's able to do that. And then same tempo, rest at the bottom, explode up 3 seconds on the way down, trying to get the chin over the bar, trying to bring that chest to the bar. And then if you can't perform any of those, or if by set 3 and 4 you find you're just not getting high quality reps, you can either drop down to this one, which is easier, or you can move on to basically eccentrics or negatives. So what you do here is you sort of jump yourself up so your chin's over, and then you lower yourself nice and slow. In these eccentrics or these negatives, what you're going for here is as many seconds as possible, but continuing to descend as you go. So, a typical rule of thumb would be 15-second lowering, would equal 1 chin up. So if you go by that, try to get 15 seconds on the way down, then you're going to progress, you're going to get to these more difficult options. So like I said before, you can combine a few. So let's say, for example, you were able to get 4 from the knees, then you would try to get that 6 to 8. So you do 2 eccentric hangs on top of your 4 reps. So unfortunately, lots of variation with chin-ups for people. So hopefully that gives you some options. Once you're done one set of your B1, you're going to move on to your B2, which is the pretty much a standard lunge or a back lunge. So you're going to get under the bar like a barbell back squat. You can put your fingers on that outer ring, or you can try to bring them in tighter just outside your shoulders, whatever's comfortable for you here. And then all you're going to do is take a step back with one foot and lower the knee down, so that ideally that front leg is at 90 degrees and that back leg's at 90 degrees. And then you're going to come up, you're going to go down again. Here we're going to go 6 to 8 reps per leg. So you'll go 6 to 8, let's say with the left, and then 6 to right, or 6 to 8 with the right. Tempo is the same. Again, this is kind of a convenience thing. Not only is the bar already where it's supposed to be, but the 3-1-1-0 tempo is identical throughout the entire workout. So we're going to go 3 on the way down, pause at the bottom, and then fire up to standing, repeat. So 6 to 8 reps per leg. Then you're going to do your 60 seconds rest, and then go back to your chin up until you've done 4 rounds of A1, A2 and B1, B2. Like always, I recommend warming up before attempting today's workout. I have a 10-minute dynamic warm-up you can check out on YouTube. I'll link it in the description below. Thanks for watching.